Again, running low on data, running. So, yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses gang. Now, I was compelled to do shadow work a couple days ago, and I didn't have a real plan. And for some reason, I didn't know that I had to be consistent. I thought it could just be, one day here, do it one day there. That's actually not the best way to go about doing shadow work. I mean, probably depending on the intensity, but I'm getting the freebies off of YouTube. So what I did was I went on to YouTube and I typed in 30-day shadow work challenge and I added all those playlists that I'm going to watch and every day do a new exercise. Some of them, I'm jumping around because some of the exercise I'm not really into, but I'm gonna tell you what happened when I did shadow work for this day. So if you want to follow along and do what I'm doing, man, shadow work, I did a lot of research on it, and it seems very important, very essential when it comes to mental health, spiritual health, growth in all ways. So day one, the first exercise that I did was I was to draw a picture of my own personality. Now I can't show you that picture because it had a vagina in it, but I will kind of describe a little bit. There was trees, a blue jay, a moon, a gun, a bang. Um, and it had a picture of a tombstone, a devil, and I actually sat down and really analyzed what a lot of these images meant to myself. And what I did, which was not a part of the instructions, but what I did was I flipped that piece of paper over. I felt I felt very confused. I felt angry a little bit. I felt sad. I felt distressed. Um, I felt a lot of mixed emotions. So what I did, just out of instinct, out of my intuition, I flipped the piece of paper over, and I wrote on one side of the paper all the negative things that I felt about myself, and a lot of the things that I felt during that time that I actually was drawing this picture. And on the other side, I wrote all the good things about myself, all the things that I appreciate about myself. So some of the negative things was that I was mean. Sometimes I feel like I'm slow, and let me think of one more: evil, right? And on the other side, I wrote creative, brilliant, persevering. Now, on one side, what shows a lot of my growth, on one side, there was like 20 things, 21 things. On the other side, there was 24, 25 things. So initially, I started to draw lines to connect it, but then I thought, nah, that was gonna get too junky. So what I did was I wrote 1 through 21, and then all the negative things that I don't like about myself, I wrote on the other side, all the good things, how I could either heal those negative things, how I could fix them, how I could transmute them, or how I could use them for good things, right? So where I put evil, um, I put a let's say an 8, and where it said warrior, I put 8. Like, okay, I might be evil, but I could use the evil with my warrior skills or with my warrior mind to be able to fight what I perceive as negative. When I put out where I felt, um, let's say where I felt like I was mean, I put creative. All right, well, I could make mean songs to make other people feel good or to motivate myself to not be me, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's just an example of the shadow work that I did for yesterday. I will be doing this for 30 days. I'm not sure if I'm going to commit to giving you guys updates and the exact exercises that I'm doing. That just might, that, I think that'd be interesting. I could start like a little journal online or what have you, make a playlist just to record because people are putting what they accomplished or what they felt after 30 days. I really just want to take you guys through the whole journey. And the days that I don't actually do exercises, I'm gonna be mirror gazing is what I'm gonna do. So I have a shadow work journal. It costed like $5 on Amazon. I haven't really started, so either gonna be mirror gazing or adding to that shadow work journal and seeing what's up with that. Like I said, the playlist that I have, I'm not the one that I started with. I'm not about to follow that lady in every exercise she has because to be honest, I don't really want to draw. I'm not that good at drawing, bro. Like if you could see that picture, it looks like something I drew when I was like 4 years old. So I mean, but it is good. Just even that because at some point I did draw. Like when I was in middle school and high school, I was pretty good with the drawing. But because I haven't drawn in a long time, the skills just went out the window. You know what they say: if you don't use it, you lose it. So at this point, my drawing skills are that of a 4-year old. But just looking at the symbolism and just looking at everything and just looking at how I drew everything and where I placed everything, it says a lot about my psyche. And especially for people who are good with symbols, now, the thing about this is when you draw this picture, if you partake in this exercise, it's really no thinking. No thinking. Like some of those things are what I felt at the time. So I did put a little bit of thought into it, but I showed it to my girl, which is something I definitely recommend. Show it to if you go to therapy, show it to your therapist, your mom, your dad, your sister, brother, your significant other because I drew a small picture of myself, and I wrote eight by it. I drew an eight, and it was by one of the trees, and she was like, "Oh, didn't you fall out a tree and hit your head when you were 8?" And I was like, "Damn, I didn't even think about that." But of course, this is gonna bring up certain traumas that you actually need to work on. Like when I lived in when I lived where I lived when I was 8, that was my favorite place to live ever, like besides Atlanta. So that's just where it felt like it was home for me. And there's probably a lot of traumas that I don't remember, or it might be a lot of good things I don't remember that I need to reconnect with. So not only is this going to show you a visual of things that you need to fix and things that are already there that you don't really think about, and give you the emotions that you really need to feel that you need to work on, it could actually bring up past life traumas and paths and openings and doorways and windows that you didn't even know that you needed to walk through, which is the whole point of shadow work. Now, this did make me just a tad bit more confident for the day. I don't know. Maybe because I feel like I know myself more, I trust myself more. In conjunction with the exercise that I spoke about, as far as writing the words, the phrases on the back of the paper, and connecting the negative things with your good things, us, and with the AA thing, like I said, if you're a hermit, if you're somebody who doesn't speak to people, yo, what up, Greg? Shout out. If you don't speak to people, if you're a hermit, if you're a loner, if you're a lone wolf, going into a group of people and speaking to people, that is your shadow work. That's something you should be doing every day. I do need to make a video on being a lone wolf and being a hermit, but bro, you have to at least for your mental health and for social skills wise, go outside and exercise your conversation skills and your social skills and make sure you don't become a weirdo because there's going to be something that you want in your life that's going to require you to talk to people, socialize, and make a good impression on people. You might not be a business owner, you might not want to be a business owner, but it doesn't hurt for you to have this networking skills. You know what I'm saying? So it's not good for anybody at any age. Like you might be old, you might be young, especially if you're young. If you're young and you isolate yourself, you're gonna be a weirdo, bro. And you're going to have worse health, worse money. But I know millionaires that all they do is stay in the house. No, you don't. First of all, no, you don't. And number two, that's called an anomaly, a statistical anomaly. A lot of people, I don't. A lot of people who make money made it with somebody else. Just like Freeze is it. Shout out to Freeze is it. If you can achieve all your goals by yourself, then your goals are too small. Your dreams are too little. If you really, really want peace, freedom, financial freedom, especially happiness in your life, you're gonna need a team, bro. Life is a team sport, bro. Life is a game, and that game is a team sport. Greg Ta- Greg Toller says younger generation scared to talk to people and make moves. I mean, you could say that on one end, but then on the other end, there are those younger people who are so engaged online so much. They think that that's how you act in real life, and it's weird. Like, I stay in LA, unfortunately. I'm just playing. Shout out to LA. I stay in LA, and when I hear some young people talk to each other on the bus, walking down the street, they literally speak to each other as if they are responding to comments online, sending DMs, or commenting on pictures on Instagram. Is very weird. It's like a shorthand, but for conversation. Like, they use all meme phrases, and it's really cringy, bro. And like, to be honest, I've been there, like during COVID when I wasn't supposed to talk to people, but when you're just it's weird, bro. I can't even do. I don't even want to do it because I. But like they'll be like, it's just weird, bro. If you hear it, you'll be like, ugh, you know what I mean? But you don't want to be that, bro. That's called a bot, man. Like, you really speak to people. Like, these little kids will like when they do talk to each other, they speak as if they're online. They use little meme phrases, like I said, and it's very concerning to say the least. But yes, the whole thing about the internet, I don't want to go into the whole conspiracy thing. You got me a little bit off topic. But the whole thing about this whole internet thing is a lot of things you don't require other people for. But the difference between speaking to somebody in person and online is, as a human being, bro, you are supposed to, as a human being, number one, to stay mentally sane. I'm gonna just give you a little game and I'm gonna leave out. You are to stay mentally sane, you're supposed to have other living organisms react to your emotions or respond to your thoughts. That's what keeps human beings sane. Now, over the computer or on the phone, you can get that. But to have a full human, one on one human experience, you have to have people, you have to sense other people's hormones, you have to see people's body language, you have to see people's facial expressions. You know what I mean? You have to sense other people's brains. You have to see people's eye movements. You have to monitor other people's breathing. You have to see people's smile. Like, doing the FaceTime is not going to give you a full human experience. If you sit in a room all by yourself for 3 days, for no, let's say 2 weeks. If you sit in a room all by yourself and you have everything physically that you need and you only FaceTime people for 2 weeks, your physical brain is going to change. You're not going to be the same person because you're only FaceTiming people. You're not you're not feeling other people's energies. You're not smelling other people's scents. You're not sensing other people's hormones. You're not seeing their full facial expressions. There's no camera in the world, bro, that's going to give you a full experience of seeing somebody's full facial expression, their micro expressions, their eye contact. You can't have authentic eye contact through a camera, bro. That's not what it is. You can't sense people's brains all the way through a camera. That's no way to live, bro. You're not your brain is going to deteriorate if you don't get that one-on-one human contact. Your conversation skills are going to deteriorate on the phone. It's going to happen. So don't be afraid to talk to people. So it's really not even that serious. Like, oh, I'm a lone wolf. I can't talk to people. Society doesn't accept me. Society doesn't accept you because you don't accept yourself, and you are precisely the person who needs to do some shadow work. Catface enthusiast, I'll send you $50 if you eat a booger on stream. What's your PayPal? Exactly, bro. You need to do some shadow work because you obviously didn't have a father, bro. For you to come on here and say that to a grown man that has so many encounters with your mother under those sheets, and you still have the confidence, you know you feel like crying right now, bro. You could just let it out. You can let it out instead of just coming on here trying to patronize me in the middle of a stream. I know all the chronic masturbation that you've been going through, hearing me blow your mom's back out. I know it makes you feel weird. I know you're having incestuous thoughts. I know that you get to come on here and see the vision, see the face of the man that was covered in your mother's booty sweat all over my chest. On my chest. On my chest. On my chest. I'm gonna say it 5 times for Crip Mac. On my chest. You need to do some shadow work, my brother. And if you go on this journey with me, I'll give you 50 reasons to not comment what you just commented again. But at the end of the day, join me, don't join me, and let's do this together, guys. Peace.